Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today's video is a pretty important video. We're closing in on the very end of 2024 and it feels like this year has just absolutely flown by. So with 2025 just around the corner, I thought it would be a good time to do, I guess, the ultimate Pokemon investing plan video for 2025. Now I'm going to break this down into a few easy steps for you to follow. Now look, you might be a beginner that's maybe just started Pokemon investing 3 months ago. You might have maybe started 12 months ago. You might have been in and out of the hobby for the last 25 years. You might have just, picked up at the start of the Sword and Shield era. Whenever it is or whatever your journey is, I think it's important to sort of put a plan in place and almost, goal set for 2025. So let's just jump straight into it. Hey, the first thing, and I don't want to sound like a life coach. I don't want to sound like a life coach on this video, but this is probably the way I look at it. When I come to setting, my plan for 2025, the first thing I want to do, and I guess this is step number one, is get some sort of mental clarity. Take the emotion out of it, because investing shouldn't be about emotion. You shouldn't think, oh, everyone's buying this, so I've got to buy it. FOMO, FOMO, FOMO. Oh, that's got my favorite card inside, so I should buy it. Investing is, seeking clarity and removing the emotion. By all means, collect what you want. I love collecting Elite Trainer boxes. I love collecting singles, but when it comes to investing and making profit off my money, which is essentially what investing is, I'm very disciplined about what I spend it on. And that's what I mean by seeking clarity. So when you, I suppose, seek clarity for 2025, maybe reflect on 2024. Clear the cobwebs out and ask yourself a couple of really simple questions. What did you do well and what didn't you do well? So you might have thought, well, you know what, I finally bit the bullet and listened to some advice and, just parked some money at the start of 2024 into a bunch of Sword and Shield booster boxes. I didn't look at Elite Trainer boxes, I didn't look at this, I didn't look at collection, I didn't look at tins. I parked into Sword and Shield booster boxes and wow, they've performed really, really well. So you might go, tick, that's something I did really, really well for 2024. What didn't you do well? Maybe you've just started in the hobby. Maybe you've done what everyone's done and, hopped into your local Kmart here in Australia or Walmart in the US or Costco in Canada or wherever it is in the United Kingdom and, you just bought a bunch of what's on the shelf, collection boxes, tins, whatever it might be, and you thought, you know what? Maybe that wasn't the smartest choice because it's going to be difficult to offload, in comparison to some other sealed products. Maybe you just bought a bunch of singles and they've been really volatile. Maybe 5 of your singles have performed absolutely fantastically because you bought a Bubble Mew and you bought a Charizard from 151. But, maybe you bought a couple of Temporal Forces SIRs at the height and they've dipped, 40% and you've gone, whoa, okay, I've learned a few things off that. So that's step number one. Seek some clarity around your head, take the emotion out of it, and then this really leads me on to step number two. And this is, I guess, setting a game plan for 2025. And I like to think of it as reverse engineering. So what I mean by that is, sometimes when I play golf and geez, I have good days and I have bad days, but if you've been watching the channel for a while, I used to play a heap of sports, cricket down here in Australia, basketball I used to love, but now I guess I turned 34 very shortly and pretty much now I turn all my attention to golf. That's what they say when you're a bloke in your 30s. You either have your lawn looking pristine, you're an absolute wizard on the barbecue, or, you love playing golf. So for me, it's the third one there. I absolutely love playing golf. And sometimes when I'm playing well and I think about a hole, I really try and reverse engineer it. So I go, okay, like the pin's tucked away on the right. So, I don't on this par 4 want my second shot from the right side of the fairway. I want my shot from the left side of the fairway. That'll give me the best access to the pin. So when I'm hitting off the tee, let's just stay clear of going right because that's a tough shot. If I'm going to miss anywhere, let's miss in the left rough or aim down the left side of the fairway. And then you're almost reverse engineering your hole to give you the best chance of scoring well. And that's almost, I guess, the example I'm going to give here in the Pokemon card investing world is what do you want it to look like in December 2025? So by the end of 2025, what do you want your Pokemon investment plan or Pokemon investment collection, for lack of a better word, to look like? And from there, you can reverse engineer the steps that you want to put in place for, maybe December, November, all the way back through to January. And from there, you should also, when it comes to reverse engineering, work out how much you want to spend. So that collection at the end of 2025 or the investments that you've purchased, let's say you go, you know what, by the end of 2025, I want to have 3 Team Rocket booster box cases if they come as booster boxes. You know, I want to pick up, if there's a reprint for Surging Sparks, I want to pick up 2 more booster box cases. Prismatic Evolutions, you know, I want some cases of Pokemon Center Elite trainer boxes. The Gen 5 set, the remake of Black and White, if that comes out again as a booster box set, you know, I want to pick up a couple of cases of booster boxes of that. Okay, well, if that's your game plan and that's reverse engineered and that's what you want your collection to look like by the end of 2025, let's put some steps in place now to safeguard that and make sure it happens. So maybe it's a budgeting thing, maybe it's setting some money aside, maybe it's not spending that money or wasting it on stupid products and going, oh, I've just got itchy fingers, I've got to buy myself some Pokemon cards. Maybe it's saving it ready for the right product to come out. And this is really, I suppose, the final step I'll get to very shortly, but that's step number 2. Quick interlude while we're at step number 2. 2 things. 1, I wanted to give a shout out to today's sponsor, which is the Shiny app. If you haven't downloaded it, I urge you to. If you have already got it, please update it because there's plenty of updates that come out regularly. Now, the Shiny app, I guess, is your one-stop shop for all things Pokemon card collecting and investing. You can put in your whole singles collection, your whole sealed collection. It'll track them daily and update prices daily off a range of sources to give you accurate pricing and data for your singles and your sealed products. You can see your total collection, hone in on individual products. You can see percentage gains and losses, but hopefully gains. And the cool new feature now, you can filter by set. So you can jump in and go by set. You can also go by price, high to low, so you can see the main hits inside the set. Sometimes it's just really nice to look at the main hits. That's the Shiny app. I'll leave the information in the description of this video to download it. And the second thing I wanted to mention before we jump on to tip number 3, you probably notice in the collection up here, we've got some more booster boxes sitting inside acrylic cases. And a lot of people message me and say, where do you get your acrylic cases from to look after your booster boxes? And the answer at the moment is I got a very nice gift from a customer, I suppose I'm his customer really. I got a very nice gift from a viewer from Collector Court. I'll also leave the link in the description of this video for him. So a very nice gift. They fit very snugly. They're magnetic, easy to use. So if you want to pick up some, his store will be in the description of this video as well. On to tip number 3. And this is an important one. Ask yourself, and I guess I fall into this box, ask yourself what content or information are you consuming? And, you know, I don't think we can be fooled or underestimate, even as I suppose a Pokemon investing content creator, the influence that a lot of us have. You know, there's people that will, and whether we think it or not, or whether we're actively giving that impression, there is people that will act on advice that we give and spend real money on products. So I guess ask yourself, what content or information are you consuming? You know, what websites are you looking up? What Discords are you on? What Reddit forums are you on? What YouTube channels and videos are you watching? And, you know, are they positive sources of information that you think you can put their advice into play, so to speak? And, you know, I guess be very careful always. I'll give that. Be very careful what you're watching, who you're listening to, and what advice you're taking on board. I'll give my very basic advice again at the last step of this video, which will make a lot of sense. I say it all the time. If you haven't heard it, it'll be new to you. If you have watched a lot of my videos, it won't be new to you, but it's very easy advice to take on board. So that's step number 3. Just keep in mind what you're paying attention to in 2025 and what information and content you're consuming. Number 4, and this is probably an important one, and this is strengthen your circle. So I guess in this one, and this links in with the previous step, which is what content and information do you consume? You know, who are you talking to? You know, who are your sources to buy product from? What positions are you putting in place to future sell a lot of your products? You know, what are your relationships online as a seller? What are your relationships online and brick and mortar as a buyer? You know, strengthen your circle. Get some leverage, so to speak, in the community where maybe it's setting up an eBay account, maybe it's setting up, if you're in the US, a TCG player account, maybe it's whatever it might be to start selling some cards, and maybe it's strengthening some relationships with a local, you know, gaming store where, you know, if there's a set that's coming into play and you want to pick some up, maybe you're on their, you know, their call list to contact, to get in touch with, to pick some product up straight away so you don't miss out. We all know how hard it's been to get things like Prismatic Evolutions and Surging Sparks booster box if you didn't pre-order months ago. So that's tip number 4 for me. Strengthen your circles in the community. You'll be surprised what just talking to people and building relationships can do. Not only will it be a positive because you get to talk to new people and, talk business and with a like-minded person, that's really important for, I guess, your overall well-being. But, that's a really, really important tip. And number 5, and this is the important one when it actually comes to buying, is pursue high-value investments. This is really the important one. What are you spending your money on? And I said I've got a very common theme, an easy theme that I use throughout a lot of videos, and that is right set, right product, right price. So let's just go over that again. Right set, right product, right price. And look, it can be as simple as just laying this out as, the right set throughout Sword and Shield era was Evolving Skies, the right product was the booster box, and the right price was buying it straight out of the gate. Buying it at launch or buying it at small reprint because it dropped very close down to the price it was at launch or at pre-order. So right set, right product, right price. And look, coming up to 2025, ask yourself that. What is the right set first? And look, Prismatic Evolutions looks like it's going to be absolutely stunning. If the Team Rocket set comes out as a booster box and the card art is phenomenal, that's got to be the right set, doesn't it? And then you think, what's the right product? Well, if it has a booster box, grab as many as you can. And right price, I think at the moment with, the strength of sales in the Pokemon card world, the right price is going to be pre-order it. And, I guess all of this comes into play is about, buying low or buying at the right price. So I don't think we can forget that. Now, if you keep, I guess, those 5 steps in play, Pokemon investing for 2025, the plan you should put in place should hopefully bring about a fruitful year for you. I'm going to use these steps. I'm going to reflect on what I did and didn't do well in 2024. I'm going to reverse engineer a little bit of a plan to know what I want to be holding by the end of 2025. I'm also careful about, the content and information I consume. I've got particular sources, of course, that I go to when it comes to information. And, I like to sift through and see what I do and don't like. I'm always trying to strengthen my circle, and that's what I want to do in 2025 as well. I always like to support local. I like to support local Aussie stores. If there's one thing Aussies are, and I know you Americans are and Canadians are and probably people in the UK, it's patriotic. We all like to support those around us, don't we? And finally, I want to be buying the right sets with the right product at the right price. And like I said, I'm very specific when it comes to parking money from investing. You look behind me and you go, okay, there's plenty of Elite Trainer boxes out. I don't buy them as investments. I'm very specific when it comes to investing in Pokemon sealed product. For me, it's always booster boxes. And of course, there's holiday sets that don't have them, and then it's Pokemon Center Elite Trainer boxes. But for me, it's booster boxes. So keep those things in mind for your 2025. I hope it is incredibly fruitful for you, and I look forward to continuing this channel in 2025 as well. Makes it sound like it's New Year now. It's not. We've still got a fortnight to go, but I'll catch everyone on the next video. I'm Michael. This is PokeOz. Catch you next time.